Dear viewers, the last episode of our rendering of Mahabharata ended with Krupacharya being appointed as the Guru of the Pandava and Kaurava princes. Now let's continue. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudirayed harihi om. Krupacharya was born to a great rishi by name Sharadvan, who was the son of another great rishi, Gautama. Sharadvan was born with the knowledge of Shara, meaning bow, broadly indicating the art of archery. He spent time in deep meditation and acquired all knowledge of Dhanurveda, which is the art of weaponry and warfare. He went on continuing with his tapas, because of which Devendra got annoyed. Devendra then assigned and sent an enchanting Apsara beauty by name Janapati to his ashram. On her arrival, Sharadvan stopped his spiritual pursuits and left his ashram. Meanwhile, a son and a daughter took birth from him. They were Ayonija, meaning not born out of a female's womb. While leaving the ashram, Sharadvan had left his deerskin and bow and arrows there. Later, one of Maharaja Shantanu's soldiers saw those twins and took them along with the deerskin and bow and arrows and gave them to the king. Seeing the deerskin and the bow and arrows, Maharaja Shantanu realized that it belonged to a Brahmin rishi who was an expert in archery. Maharaja Shantanu performed all birthrights for those twins and brought them up with great love and care, and also with Krupa or kindness. So those children came to be known as Krupa and Krubi. Later on, in his divine vision, Rishi Sharadvan saw all about these children and approaching the king explained everything to him. Then that Rishi stayed there and taught Krupa all 4 branches of the art of weaponry and all other Shastras and Vedas. Before long, Krupa mastered everything from his father, and then very soon he became famous as Krupacharya. Now, the Pandava and Kaurava princes and many other kings and princes of the neighboring kingdoms started learning the advanced art of weaponry from Krupacharya. Later on, Bhishma, who was on the lookout for a guru who would teach the princes the best and most advanced level of weaponry, assigned Guru Drona for this task. Dronacharya had acquired Dhanurveda from Lord Sri Parshuram himself, and he was married to Krupacharya's twin sister Krubi. Like Krupacharya, Guru Drona was also born as Ayonija from the great rishi Bharadwaja. Similar to the birth of the Kauravas, Drona was born from a pot or a kumbh. Drona is a synonym for kumbh, and then that son of rishi Bharadwaja also came to be known as Drona. Rishi Agnivesha was born out of Agni, and Drona learned all Shastras and Veda from Rishi Agnivesha, who was earlier a disciple of Drona's father Bharadwaja. Drona being the son of his guru, Agnivesha gave Drona the great weapon by name Agneyastra. While Drona was learning under Rishi Bharadwaja, he had a colleague by name Drupada, who was the son of King Prushada. After Prushada, Drupada became the king of Uttara Panchala. Meanwhile, Drona, by way of his spiritual pursuits and tapas, acquired knowledge beyond all limits. Thereafter, as decided by his father, Drona got married to Krubi, who was the twin daughter of Rishi Sharadvan and the sister of Krupacharya. In due course, a son was born to him, who neighed aloud like the celestial horse Uchchaishravas. Then a voice was heard from the skies that since he cried aloud like a horse, he will become famous as Ashwatthama. During that time, Drona heard about the great son of Rishi Jamadagni, who was none other than Lord Sri Parshuram, who lived in the Mahendra mountains. It was famous that Parshuram will fulfill any wish and desire of Brahmins who approached him. Then one day, Drona went to the Mahendra mountains and reached the abode of Bhargavarama. Falling at his feet, Drona told him that he is the son of Rishi Bharadwaja and also informed him that he had approached the Lord for financial gains and wealth. Lord Parashuram replied that he had already donated his wealth and all that is left with him now is his physical body and his full and complete knowledge of Dhanurveda or the art of weaponry. Drona was given the option to choose one out of these two. Thereupon, as decided by Drona, Lord Parashuram handed over all his weapons to Drona and blessed him. Thereafter, one day, Drona, along with his wife and son, visited his childhood friend Drupada, who now ruled the Uttara Panchala kingdom. When Drona reminded him that they lived and learned together at the Gurukul, King Drupada mocked him for approaching him in the name of a childhood friendship. Listening to the insulting speech of the king in front of his wife and son and all the members of the king's court, Drona stood there thinking for a moment, and then without uttering a word, he left with his wife and son and started walking in the direction of Hastinapur, the renowned capital city of the Kurus. Dear viewers, here ends this chapter of our rendering of Rishi Vedavyasa's timeless epic Mahabharata. Harihi Om.